'Tis the season for cookies, but we don't want all of the grains and the sugar. We're going to take a look at a brand new recipe concept, and hopefully we're going to end up with animal-based Christmas sugar cookies and Gingersnap or gingerbread hybrid cookies. To be honest, I haven't done this recipe to completion yet, so we're going to find out if I'm right or I'm wrong. Stick around and let's see if this is a total fail or a game changer of a cookie recipe. We're going to do them in the oven, and I'm even going to test them in the air fryer. Today on Chris Cookin' Nashville. All right, step number one, we need to mix together a dough. Now, sugar cookies tend to be, at least this time of year, a fairly dry mixture that is then chilled, rolled out, and cut. Now, I'm gonna be using allulose. That is the sweetener that I prefer for these kinds of things because it acts the most like sugar. If you do not use allulose, you can use another granulated sweetener. It may require an adjustment of the recipe more or less, depending on how sweet it is and how sweet you like it. Play around with the ratios if you would like to use one of the other sweeteners, but I do recommend, if you can handle it, use allulose, because for this kind of stuff, I think it is the best. Step number one to getting these to work is mixing it properly. Let's take a look at how we do that. We need to mix our dry ingredients because an even distribution of all of those dry ingredients together is going to make this dough come together the best that it can. So in this bowl, I have whey protein isolate. It does need to be isolate because the concentrate is going to leave these too soft and crumbly. I also have egg white powder. I have a little bit of baking powder. Make sure you get an aluminum-free version. I have some salt, and I have just a touch of xanthan gum. Now, I don't usually use things like xanthan gum in my recipes, but in this one in particular, this is going to be really helpful. All of the ingredients and the amounts of this are on the recipe card, which is free on my website. It's linked down below. Optionally, I've also added in a tablespoon of butter powder. You don't have to do that, but it does make this the most elite version. I'm gonna mix those together with a whisk really well. If we get this right, but we mess up the next step, it all falls apart. In this saucepan, I have 1 whole stick or 8 tablespoons of butter that I have browned. All you need to do is put it over a medium to medium high heat, let it melt and let it start turning golden brown. This browned butter is going to make a huge difference in the flavor. Now we're gonna let that sit there and cool down. We don't want it so hot that it's going to cook the egg, which is going to be in our wet mixture, but we do want it warm enough that it is still liquid. I have a couple of tablespoons of softened cream cheese, and to that, we're going to add 1 large egg. Make sure it's a large egg so that you get the right liquid ratios. You want that traditional Christmas cookie. Almond and vanilla is the combination we need. And as soon as that butter is cool enough that it won't cook the egg, I will add it in here and we'll combine that with this cream cheese and egg mixture. That's almost done. The only thing additional we use for the wet mixture is maybe a little bit of heavy cream, but that's gonna depend on the texture of the dough. So I'm gonna get a very large bowl. I'm going to add my wet ingredients in first. Now, a little at a time, I'm going to incorporate the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and I wanna make sure that it is fully combined before I add a little bit more. And I'm gonna do it slowly because this is gonna help us make sure we don't get any dry clumps or anything weird that happens from this dry mixture. That's why we're not adding the wet into the dry, because that would ruin our dough. You're gonna need a very firm-handled spatula of some kind to help press this together, fold it all together until it is well combined. We're looking for like a soft Play-Doh sort of a texture. We're gonna be ready to make cookies almost, but there's an important step that comes right after that. This is going to make this actually work. So don't go anywhere and I'll show you what we do next. Something that will help you as you're mixing this is to bring the mixture up on the side of the bowl and spread it around. That will help you get rid of any of those clumps that might start to form right at the beginning. So this is the texture we're looking for. It is a nice, soft, almost Play-Doh texture. I didn't even need to add cream to this. If yours is a little too dry, you can add a little bit of heavy cream. And if it's a little too wet, you can add in a little bit more egg white powder to adjust. I'm gonna transfer my cookie dough into a smaller bowl because I actually need to reuse this large bowl in just a second. In the meantime, that cookie dough is gonna go into the refrigerator to chill for at least an hour. If you do not refrigerate this cookie dough and you try to bake it right now, it's not going to be able to hydrate all of those proteins properly, and it's gonna end up gritty and it's gonna spread and it's not going to be good. Because it's already soft, that spread is going to not only be worse, but it's gonna be oily and it's gonna let some of the fat of that butter leak out of this dough. Now, while this is in the refrigerator, we're gonna talk about something totally different, and that is ginger snaps. So this process will look familiar to you. This is essentially the same base recipe, but we do change the ratios a little bit. So we've increased the egg white to whey protein ratio, and that's gonna give us a little more snap and crisp in the cookie. We've also reduced the amount of the collagen peptides that are in there. We still have the allulose in there, the exact same as the other cookies, but we're going to flavor everything differently. So I have a spice mixture here, which is going to sound very familiar to any of you who have ever made ginger any type of cookies before. This is ground ginger, some ground cloves, some nutmeg, and some cinnamon. We're gonna add that in with our dry mixture. And optional, but traditional, is some very finely ground black pepper, just a pinch. Now for our wet ingredients, we have much the same mixture: cream cheese, eggs, and a little bit of a vanilla extract. However, we're using less cream cheese because we don't want as much moisture in these cookies. We want them to get dry so that they snap like a ginger snap cookie should. And instead of using almond, we're going to create a really special flavoring mixture that's gonna take this over the edge. One of the hardest things to figure out how to do in the keto and carnivore world, the molasses flavor, because there's not much out there that tastes like molasses. But we are going to make a fake molasses flavor, which honestly will probably fool most people. Let me show you how we make that. Instant coffee, and I'm using decaf because we don't need to be caffeinating the kids or anybody else late at night with these cookies. When used properly without having too much of it in there, coffee offers this little bit of a bitter back note on your palate. And that paired with the vanilla and the spices in these cookies is going to taste almost exactly like there is molasses in there. And other than the most trained palates out there, I think this would fool just about anybody. Now, it does not take much. You do not want to know that there is coffee in this. This goes into the wet mixture along with our vanilla extract. Now that our wet ingredients and dry ingredients have been combined, we proceed the same as we did with the other cookies. Wet first, mix the dry in a little at a time until we get a smooth cookie dough that goes into the refrigerator. Now that our cookie dough has chilled down, we're gonna roll it out, and I'm actually going to roll out the gingerbread or Gingersnap version first, because this, after I roll it out, is gonna go back in the refrigerator to chill before we try to cut it into shapes. I'm gonna roll this out between 2 pieces of parchment paper, 1/8 of an inch thick. We want this fairly thin because we're trying to make these drier and snappier. Don't be afraid to peel your top piece of parchment off and reset. Now that this cookie dough is rolled out, I'm going to put this on a cookie sheet, and it's gonna go in the freezer 20 to 30 minutes to really firm up. While the Gingersnap cookie dough is getting nice and chilly, I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the sugar cookie dough, and this one we can go ahead and cut. We're gonna bake this one first. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees, or if you're using an air fryer, I'll show you how to do that one afterwards. This sugar cookie dough is going to be rolled out just a little bit thicker, more like 1/4 of an inch, and then we can cut our shapes. One of the things that makes this really difficult for a lot of people is they cut their cookies and then they're trying to get them lifted off of the paper so they can put them on a baking sheet, and they're trying to get it out from all of the excess that's around it, and they're not really sure how to do that. I'm going to show you how to make this really simple. This piece of parchment that we are using right here, that's going to be going on the baking sheet. We're not going to lift the cookies. We're going to cut the shapes and lift the trimmings from around it, and then we'll use that to make some cookies to go in the air fryer. So pick your favorite cookie cutter shapes, dip it in some egg white powder to make sure it's not going to stick, and cut your shapes, and I'll show you what to do next. Time to put these on a baking sheet, put them in the oven. I've got my air fryer preheating at 275 for 3 minutes. We're then going to air fry this other batch of cookies for 5 to 7 minutes until they just start turning golden brown, just like ones in the oven, and then we're gonna let them all cool. Our gingerbread men go in the oven at 300 instead of 325, so they cook a little more slowly and get a little snappier. They're going to be in there longer as well, 14 to 17 minutes. If you're doing them in the air fryer, 8 to 10 minutes at 260 to maybe 270. Should work just fine. And that is the ginger cookies as well. Now, the thinner you get these, the easier it is to make them crispy. It's entirely up to you what texture you're really going for. I'm using a pastry brush and just brushing off some of the extra egg white powder. While these are cooling, we need to make some keto royal icing. So grab yourself some allulose, some egg white powder, vanilla extract, and a little heavy cream. And let's make a really quick and smooth keto royal icing with no sugar. I have 1 1/4 cups of powdered allulose. And if you have granular allulose, throw it in a dry blender and blend it up until it's a powder. That's all you need to do. I also have vanilla extract and heavy cream. You could also use water, but I'm gonna add the slight richness in the texture. So I'm going to add in, first of all, 1/2 teaspoon of my vanilla extract. Chris, how do you know that was 1/2 teaspoon? It's not a hill I'm interested in dying on, it's close enough. I'm gonna mix that together with the egg white powder and the allulose in here. And then we are going to very slowly start adding between 1 and 2 tablespoons of cream. We're going to do that until this becomes a thick, pipeable icing consistency, and then we will whisk it for 2 to 3 minutes until it's nice and smooth and glossy. When adding your cream or your water, do it a little at a time because you can always add more, but you can't take it out. This goes into a piping bag. I'm just gonna use a tipless piping bag to make it easy today. And all we gotta do is decorate our cookies and enjoy. Let's go ahead and ice them up.
So cute.
There are the 2 different versions of holiday cookies done with an animal-based lifestyle in mind. No nut flowers, no gritty, grainy weirdness, no nothing. So let's see what you think.
Yes, I'm gonna start right here with the Christmas tree. I love sugar cookies like this. So good. Oh my gosh, those are bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So my mom, every Christmas, would make cookies just like this, cut them out in the shapes, the whole kit and caboodle.
Mm-hmm.
Totally just like flashback, reminded me of all those years of doing that. These are insane. The cookies are soft, great flavor on the inside. Nice little bit of a crust like you would expect on the outside. They're not dry, they're not cakey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're delicious. Also your icing, really good.
Tastes good, right?
Really, really, really good. Yeah.
The browned butter makes such a huge difference in the flavor of those cookies. It's incredible in there.
That is just a delicious cookie. I honestly think you could hand that to anyone and they wouldn't even know that it was keto, carnivore, anything of the sort. It's delicious. I'm gonna take this little guy. Okay, 1, these are adorable. 2, they crunch, they snap. Ooh, good flavor too.
The thinner you roll these out, the easier they are to get crispy. However thin and crispy you want to make them, feel free.
So I am totally getting a molasses gingery flavor with this cookie, hands down. Really nice crunch, but it's not dry. These cookies are bomb.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Now, would you ever know that there was coffee in that and no molasses?
No. Yeah, I don't get any kind of a coffee flavor whatsoever. I literally taste molasses, that ginger snappy kind of a cookie. So, I mean, yeah, holy cow.
Not everyone likes cookies, and I understand. If you're not one of those cookie people, but you're looking for something you can share with your family so you can have a holiday dessert of some kind, make sure to go check out this video right over here. This is Chris cooking Nashville, the beautiful Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat, maybe sometimes your Christmas cookies. Love your life. We'll see you in the kitchen for more recipes.
Okay, so are we gonna put these out for Santa?
No, we're gonna eat them all. What's proper reindeer diet?
I don't know. Call Dr. Barry.